We're going to look at one of the most popular, which is NVIDIA. And if you know the stock's symbol, you can type that in. But if you don't, you can just type in the name of the company. So I'm going to type in NVIDIA, and we can see NVDA is the particular symbol. So we click on that here, and we can see that NVIDIA is actually available in the Robinhood 24-hour market. And that's pretty cool because Robinhood has select stocks that they support trading of 24/7, and it's similar to the crypto markets, which a lot of us are familiar with. I'm going to click on Got It for now, and we can see that NVIDIA is having a really solid day today. They're up 4.27%. And you can click here and drag your finger along, and it shows you the price over the day. You can also change the timeline down here and see over the last week, NVIDIA is up 8.8%. In the last month, 37.5%. 3 months is 51%. Year to date, 33.47. The 1 year is over 200%. 5 year is like 1900%, and the maximum chart is like 83,000%. So if you invested in NVIDIA back in 2015 or something at $5 a share, now you're looking at like over 100x on your money there. So man, that would have been a good investment. But anyway, very tough in hindsight to be aware of these things that early on. But individual stock selection is really not recommended anyway. In fact, what most people like Warren Buffett would suggest is doing the diversified approach of investing in the S&P 500. And once my account is fully reactivated, I'm going to show you how to deposit money and actually invest in the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF that Warren Buffett himself recommends. But just so you are aware, this is how you research stocks. We're going to scroll down here, and we have an About section where you can get some information about the particular company. You can see the CEO, employees. The statistics here show us some information you might want to be aware of. Volume is the total number of shares that have traded today. The overnight volume is most likely related to that 24-hour market that Robinhood offers. And you can compare the volume of the day to the average volume, and this can show you if there's more or less people trading the stock than normal. Below that, we can see the market capitalization. This is the total value of the company. And you can then see the price to earnings ratio. This is the multiple that people are paying on the current share price relative to the company's earnings. So this is a relatively expensive stock based on the fact that people are paying about $83 in investment dollars today for exposure to this company making $1 of annual earnings. It might be a little bit confusing to understand that. I actually have a full video on fundamental stock analysis. I'll put a card in the corner if you'd like to watch that, as this will walk you through these very important financial metrics and valuation metrics like the PE ratio. Below that, we also have the dividend yield here. NVIDIA does pay a very small dividend, but it's coming in at 0.03%, so it's a minuscule amount of money. But if we look at a different stock, I'll just switch over to a dividend payer. For example, Johnson & Johnson, and we'll see looking at their particular yield, it's 2.97%. And just real quick, looking at their PE ratio, theirs is 11.5. So in the case of Johnson & Johnson, investors are paying about $11.50 today for exposure to $1 of their annual earnings. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get those earnings in your pocket. The only money you're getting in your pocket is that dividend, which in this case is that 2.97%. But it's important to understand that stocks of different industries will have totally different normal valuations. So for example, healthcare, which Johnson & Johnson is a part of, has a baseline level price to earnings ratio, which is considered normal, whereas in tech, and in particular AI, which would be the sub-segment there or industry that NVIDIA is involved with, that is going to have a much higher price to earnings ratio that's normal just based on the growth potential that is priced into today's numbers. Now again, that's just some stock market jargon that you probably don't need to be aware of, especially if you're just looking to be a passive ETF investor, which is what's recommended, but you might just want to be aware of it anecdotally just so you know some of the basics. Back looking at NVIDIA now, we're going to scroll down further and we can see the news section. So if you're wondering, hey, why is NVIDIA stock up 4.5% today? We can look at any news that came out surrounding them. So we can see, wow, look at that. Meta stock is actually up 21% today. And the news here is that Meta rolls out own AI chip to power Facebook and Instagram, targets cost cuts and NVIDIA independence. So that's pretty crazy because they're actually looking to, I guess, separate from NVIDIA. But even despite that, NVIDIA is still doing really well today. So if you want to read into the article, you can click on that. And it does it right in the Robinhood app. It's super clean for just getting up-to-date info on stocks. And below that, we have the analyst ratings. So if you are looking to get the Wall Street professional opinion on a particular stock or even a fund, you can come down here and see what they say. In this particular case, among 53 analyst ratings, 92% say it's a buy, 8% say it's a hold, and 0% say it's a sell. You can also see what the bullish thesis as well as the bearish thesis is, and that's going to be sort of the professional opinion on why the stock could go up in the future or why it could be overpriced today and why it could go down. So if you were looking to invest in an individual stock, you'd want to fully understand both of the cases here and see if the risk reward potential made sense for you if you're looking for individual stock ownership. Now, if you're looking to get more info here, you can click on show more and it gives you a bit more info on that. They do offer professional research reports that come as part of Robinhood Gold. That is going to be a separate package that we will talk about later on, but I don't personally use it. I have in the past, but we'll talk about what that is in case you're interested. Below that, we have the earnings chart, and this shows us the quarterly earnings over time. On this chart here, it's showing us what the expected EPS or earnings per share were versus the actual EPS. And what we can see here as the trend is that Nvidia has been beating those expectations by a wider and wider margin, it looks like. And that's probably why the stock has gone up so much. So they have expected figures. That's basically like these professional analysts. And think of it like horse racing, where you have people who are like handicappers and they know what they're doing and they have these statistics in mind. In the same manner, you have these people putting out these estimates on what they think the company is going to do in that financial quarter. And based on the consensus, Nvidia has been doing above those expectations over time here. Now, if you're looking to get ideas on other stocks through the app, they have lists here like most popular stocks. You can also look at what stocks are in the 24-hour market. We'll take a look at that as it's relatively interesting. And there's 225 particular items here. So if you wanted to look at what stocks were supported here, you could scroll through all of these yourself. At the bottom, there's also this people also own section where you can see related companies such as AMD, Microsoft, Meta, and this could just give you an idea of other companies in that particular industry.